everyone, and welcome to today's episode of M&A Empowerment. Today with me, I have Sharon Heaton, who is the founder and CEO of SB Liftoff. Welcome, Sharon, and if you could take a second to introduce yourself and your firm.
Elsie, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm delighted to be here. Uh, as you said, my name is Sharon Heaton, and I'm the CEO of SB Liftoff. And SB Liftoff is a national M&A advisory firm, which is just a kind of fancy way of saying we help people buy and sell companies. Please don't hate me. I am a recovering attorney, and I've been practicing law for quite a number of years, and worked at very large law firms like Skadden Arps and Latham and Watkins, wonderful firms, very cutting edge, but there weren't a lot of people involved. So I'm focused on getting into the people in the M&A market, and that's what SB Liftoff does.
Gotcha, that's great. And could you tell our viewers a little bit more about your role in the M&A process?
Absolutely. In some ways, we're the conductor of the orchestra. We work with the business owner from the time that they're first thinking about selling, which could be years before a transaction, to help them prepare for that. Once they're really ready, there's the prep work. Then there's a dating phase. And the dating is when a seller is looking for a buyer and a buyer is looking for a seller. And that ends when there's an engagement. That engagement is formally called the letter of intent. From that letter of intent to closing, there is a clown car of people who get involved. There's lawyers and accountants. M&A is absolutely a team sport, and you've got to make sure that all the different parties are playing their roles. Our role as the M&A advisor is to make sure that all the things are happening at the right time, in the right way. The commercial deals are being satisfied between the buyer and the seller and getting it over the line. So our role really continues until after the deal is over. So it's very important that you find M&A advisors who really want to walk this path with you, as opposed to simply giving you some direction and saying good luck.
Gotcha. That's super, super helpful. I love the analogies, especially as a sport person myself and the team player. I love that. Um, and if you could describe a recent professional success, what would that be?
Um, all transactions, at least as SB Liptop does them, are life transitions. And these life transitions are unique for every company in every way. There was one deal that we did recently where we looked at the company and said, this company is a very valuable entity, but we think that we can unlock value here if, in fact, we break it up. So it took a little bit of convincing to talk to the seller and saying, we're not going to sell your company as a whole, but we're going to sell it in two parts. We were able to ultimately find two buyers, sold the company, and we absolutely unlocked value for that seller. So we were really very pleased that this was a transaction that worked very well for the seller. It was very good for the two buyers, and SB Liftoff was very proud of our creativity in seeing how to unlock the value for the seller.
Right. So a lot of times it's not just kind of taking what you've been given and just moving forward from there. It's kind of taking a look at the bigger picture to make sure everybody's getting that benefit.
Almost never is it basically a cookie cutter just doing it. We did one transaction where the company was basically putting ATMs in the wall. And as I brought the company to market, people kept on saying, ATMs, nobody cares about cash anymore. Cash is going away. So I was banging my head against the wall saying, I want these people to understand this is a wonderful company. We then thought about it and said putting ATM in the walls is pretty much the same thing as putting in a parking meter in a parking lot or putting in computer monitors at a office building, or saying where the metro's coming. So we basically reshifted the focus of the company and all of a sudden had several buyers at the table. It really makes a difference how you position, how you listen deeply to what the company does and figure out how to communicate it to third parties.
Awesome. That's super helpful. And congratulations. Those are excellent success stories.
Thank you.
And lastly, what advice would you give to women who are both currently in the field or might be looking to get into our field?
M&A is a wonderful field for women. I think that uh, there's the hard skills involved, and women are fantastic at doing the finance and the legal and the sim production and all the rest of that. But I think that women bring a special sauce to the table in terms of dealing with the client, particularly when they're a founder owner themselves, is going to be fairly emotional about this process. This is going to be like selling their child. And understanding what that business owner feels is incredibly important. So, bringing the compassion and the empathy that women, I think, naturally have in their life to their profession simply enhances the work that they do and the quality of work that they do. When I'm talking to younger women interested in getting into the field, I talk about building your hard skills, building your soft skills, and then the importance of networking. It's really important that you put yourself in a situation where people can know about you. Because if you're the best that there is, but nobody knows about you, it doesn't help. You've got to get out there and meet people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely echo your thoughts. That's great advice. Awesome. Well, everyone, again, this is Sharon Heaton. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for being here.